Every person in this world is unique, but there are some people who take unique to a whole new level of bizarreness. In this video, we'll look at the 15 bizarre and unique people who shock the world. From super strange conditions to unusual obsessions, these people defy everything what we think is possible. And trust me, the last one on this list will blow your brain. Number 15, the medical vampire princess. Victoria Lovelace calls herself a medical vampire princess, and she means every word. Living in Los Angeles, she's not just dressed for the part, she's lived it. From the pale skin, to the fangs, to the deep black fashion, Victoria leans into a lifestyle that's part grotesque, part performance, and fully her truth. She started young, obsessed with the undead, horror films, and the elegance of the Gothic. Cemeteries felt like playgrounds. White faces, black velvet, and eternal youth. That was the dream. Her aesthetic isn't for show. It's comfort, it's expression, and it's constant. She doesn't tone it down for work, for school, or for strangers. If I could be a real vampire, I would, she says. Who wouldn't want to live forever? She's been stared at, insulted, and misunderstood. But in LA, she says, people at least approach with curiosity instead of silence. Her look may feel extreme, but it's not for attention. It's for her. Always has been. Number 14, Sona and Mona. Sona and Mona are 22-year-old conjoined twins from Punjab, India, and they've spent their lives proving people wrong. Joined at the torso, they share a pair of legs, a spleen, and a gallbladder. Doctors explained early on that separation would likely mean one twin wouldn't survive, so the brothers made their decision. They would live life together, exactly as they are. They grew up at the Pingalwara Society in Amritsar, where they learned how to coordinate their movements, divide tasks, support each other, and function as one team. Their dream was to work with electricity, and they chased it until it became their reality. Today, they're employed as electricians, something many thought would be impossible. The twins hope their story encourages others to look beyond limitations. We are happy together, they say. We want people to learn from us, to be inspired by us. We live our lives the way we want, despite being conjoined. Number 13, Aboli Jarrett. Aboli Jarrett is 22 years old, but most people mistake her for a toddler because she stands at just 3 feet and 4. Born in Nagpur, India, she grew up with a chronic kidney disease that affected her bones, height, and several vital organs. When she reached her teens, her condition worsened to the point where she could no longer walk. But giving up never crossed her mind. Instead, Aboli leaned into what she loved, performing. She sings, she dances, and she's currently in her second year of college. What started as a personal outlet soon became something bigger. She entered local talent contests, gained confidence, and eventually auditioned for Indian Idol, one of the biggest shows in the country. Her performances made her go viral. Today, she has over 6,000 followers cheering her on. Her dream is clear: become a successful singer, maybe even act one day. If I can do it, she says, others will believe they can too. So, never lose hope. Number 12, Kaylee. Kaylee from Ohio lives with progeria, an extremely rare condition that causes rapid aging. At 21, she stands 3 feet 8 and weighs just 35 pounds. Because progeria is so rare and has an average life expectancy of around 13, people online often mistake her for others with the condition who have passed away. But Kaylee makes one thing clear: she's here, she's alive, and she's living her life on her own terms. She's taken part in drug trials to help slow the progression of the disease, and those treatments, along with hip surgery, have helped her stay mobile. This year, she's finishing high school and applying to college. something she's proud of. Beyond medical challenges, Kaylee is also an artist. She draws, paints, and creates work that surprises people who don't expect such skill from someone her size. She also introduces viewers to two of her closest friends, showing that her world isn't defined by her condition. Number 11. Janine Reed. For nearly 19 years, Reed has been growing her nails, now stretching 13 to 14 inches long and decorating them with colorful buttons. She grew up in a strict household in New Jersey, where makeup, nail polish, and bright hair were off limits. So when adulthood gave her freedom, she claimed it fully. She started growing her nails in 2007 and never stopped. In 2019, she began gluing buttons onto them, turning her hands into full-on artwork. Reactions from strangers range from shocked stares to judgmental comments. But Janine doesn't mind. She says the attention means she stands out, which is what she wants. She's also part of the Long Nail Goddesses, a community of women dedicated to growing nails so long they become part of their identity, some reaching 20 inches. Janine embraces the unconventional look totally. For her, the nails aren't a phase or a stunt. They're her own personal form of expression, earned over years of commitment. Number 10. Vivian and Zane. Vivian and her husband Ezekiel moved from Nigeria to Cyprus, hoping for a better life. Their son Zane was born with albinism, a complete absence of pigment in his skin, hair, and eyes. Their families were supportive, but the world around them wasn't always kind. In Nigeria, Ezekiel remembers how children with albinism were often viewed as less than human. Even now, people approach him, telling him to get a DNA test, accusing Vivian of cheating simply because of Zane's appearance. The comments cut deep, but Vivian eventually built thicker skin. She turned her frustration into action, creating social media pages to share Zane's story, educate others, and celebrate how beautiful he is. The videos bring encouragement, but also negativity. Still, the couple stays focused. They want the world to understand that albinism is not a flaw, it's a difference, and they refuse to let ignorance overshadow how proud they are of their son. Number 9. Maya. Maya stopped growing when she was 3 years old. Now 33, she measures just 87 centimeters tall and weighs 17 kilograms, small enough that most strangers assume she's a toddler. Her condition prevents her from walking or speaking, so she relies completely on her family for care. But to them, she isn't a burden. She's a blessing. Her family believes Allah made her exactly as she's meant to be, and they protect her with absolute devotion. Her sister Novianti says, "We take care of her very well. I love her. The entire family loves her." Maya communicates through small gestures, eye contact, and expressions that her family knows instantly. Even without words, she fills their home with personality and warmth. Her life isn't measured by milestones or independence. It's measured by the love that surrounds her daily. Maya's existence is quiet but powerful, showing how a family's care can shape a life with dignity, love, and tenderness. Number 8. Tulsi Vagjiani. At 10, Tulsi survived a plane crash that took her parents and brother. She suffered burns covering 45% of her body, and doctors doubted she would make it. But she did. The physical pain was hard enough, but the aftermath brought years of bullying. People stared. People whispered. Some even threw things at her just to see if she was real. For a long time, Tulsi hid her scars under long sleeves. She didn't want the questions, the looks, or the cruelty. But over the years, something shifted. She found strength, confidence, and a sense of pride in the body that carried her through unthinkable trauma. Today, Tulsi shares her story openly to help others who feel defined by their injuries. "I love my scars," she says. "My body has survived things most never face. It's still here, it still works, and it's still beautiful. She celebrates what she once hid. Number 7. Caitlin. Caitlin is a 27-year-old who grew up fighting odds most people can't imagine. Born with a condition similar to Pierre-Robin syndrome, she had an extremely small lower jaw, and doctors weren't sure she'd ever speak or eat. She went through multiple surgeries. One even required removing part of her rib to rebuild her jaw. Some procedures didn't go the way doctors hoped, but Caitlin pushed through every setback. Today, she talks clearly, sings confidently, and eats without relying on a feeding tube. Her abilities don't stop there. As a kid, she dove into sports and music, joining clubs, teams, and band classes. She plays drums, piano, and marimba with ease. Motivated by everything she's lived through, she's now studying criminal justice at Utah State University, hoping to use her experiences to help others. Caitlin isn't defined by her condition. She's defined by how she kept moving, kept learning, and refused to let anyone else decide what she'd be capable of. Number 6. Johnny. When Johnny was 9, she felt a sharp pain above her right knee during a school sports class. That pain turned out to be osteosarcoma, an aggressive bone cancer. Her family faced a brutal decision: remove the leg entirely or choose a rare procedure called Rotationplasty. They chose the latter. Surgeons removed her knee, rotated the lower part of her leg 180 degrees, and reattached it so her ankle could work as a new knee joint. The result was functional but looked shocking. Janny said it felt like something out of a horror film. She accepted it privately, but publicly she hid behind an artificial leg for years. She didn't want the questions, the stares, or the pity. But after an emergency surgery last year, something changed. She decided she wasn't hiding anymore. Janny began posting photos of her real leg on social media, showing others exactly who she is. The decision wasn't about bravery. It was about finally living without shame. Number 5. Vanellope Hope Wilkins. When Naomi and Dean went in for a routine scan at 9 weeks, their world stopped. Their baby's heart was growing outside her chest, a rare condition called ectopia cordis. Most cases don't survive, but they decided to carry on. Hope was born in 2017, 3 weeks early, at Glenfield Hospital in Leicester. Within minutes, more than 50 doctors surrounded her tiny body. Her heart was wrapped in sterile plastic to protect it from infection, and surgery began almost immediately. The heart itself was healthy. It just had no home. Over weeks, doctors used custom supports and skin grafts to create a space inside her chest. Most babies with her condition never make it past the delivery room. Vanellope did. By age 7, she underwent one final surgery, an 8-hour procedure that used her own ribs to form a protective cage around her heart. That name her parents chose, Vanellope Hope, turned out to be the most accurate part of her story. Number 4. Miyuki Sugiyama. Miyuki Sugiyama is 26 and stands 6 feet 5. Her legs alone measure nearly 53 inches, more than 2/3 of her height. She lives in Ashland, Ohio, where she met her husband Trevor, 27, just last year. They tied the knot in June, but COVID forced them into a small ceremony. Now they're planning the big celebration they missed. But Miyuki's never had an easy time finding clothes that fit, and wedding dresses are even tougher. Finding one that suits her proportions is a whole new challenge. She's used to standing out, but that doesn't make it easier. Miyuki has spent most of her life adjusting to a world that wasn't built for her height. Now, she just wants a dress that truly feels like hers. Something elegant, something that fits, not just something long enough. The wedding didn't happen the way they imagined, but this next one will be hers from head to toe. And this time, it'll finally fit. Number 3. Elise Sasso. Elise grew up hearing the same advice on repeat. Just diet, work out, and the weight will disappear. But nothing ever did. What doctors failed to catch was that Elise had inherited lipedema from her mother, a genetic condition that merges lipedema and lymphedema, leading to painful fat buildup in the legs and other areas. Her mother never received a diagnosis, so Elise spent years blaming herself. But it was never her fault. Once she finally discovered the truth, she launched a nonprofit called Beauty is the Beast to raise awareness and educate others. "I want to tear down the barriers society built," she says. Elise used to hide her legs, but not anymore. She recently visited her friend Lisa's shop to try on clothes that show them off. "It's fun, it's confidence, it's freedom," she said. Now she walks into rooms with her head high. She's no longer hiding her body. She's using it to speak for every woman told to shrink. Number 2. The Sassy Sisters. Teresa and Anna were born without arms, both with nearly identical congenital limb differences. Raised by the same adoptive mom, they were taught from the start to figure things out on their own. They've used their feet as hands for as long as they can remember. Teresa says her entire life has been about adapting because the world isn't built for people with no arms. But she never had to face it alone. Anna's always been right there. "We're really the only ones who get it," Anna says. That still doesn't protect them from the constant stares and rude questions. "It's like being a walking zoo exhibit," Teresa says. That frustration led them online, where Teresa now posts videos showing how she does everyday things, getting dressed, cooking, even taking out the trash. With Anna often joining in, they push back against stereotypes together. Their phrase, "Arms are overrated." Their point, "Different isn't wrong, it's just human. We do things differently, but we're just like you." Number 1. Bentley Yoder. Bentley Yoder was born in 2015 with part of his brain outside his skull, protected only by a fragile balloon-like sac. Doctors diagnosed him with encephalocele, a rare and life-threatening condition. They told his parents he wouldn't survive. An abortion was scheduled. His parents canceled it the night before. Bentley was born breathing and crying. Scans showed something unthinkable. The brain matter outside his skull was still functioning. But no local hospital could help. His parents found their way to Boston Children's Hospital, where a complex plan was drawn up. Using 3D models of Bentley's skull, surgeons mapped out every move. In 2016, they opened his skull, drained excess fluid, and slowly repositioned his brain back inside. Dissolvable plates were used to rebuild the top of his head, and it worked. Bentley smiled, ate, held up his head. The brain mass had weighed almost a full pound. Now it was right where it belonged. Bentley's path wasn't supposed to exist, and yet, he's walking it anyway. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.